Are you one of those who dream of traveling the world? What if an accident happens to you one day? Do you think you can survive the fall without a parachute? Just like the story of this girl, they say that the thing that almost stopped her from becoming a flight attendant is the one that will help her survive. Please consider to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. One night, a guy heard screams coming from a hillside near his village in Czechoslovakia on January 26, 1972. As he went to find out what was going on, he saw a horrible thing. It was the pieces of an airplane that had been blown apart by an explosion. Even though it seemed impossible that anyone could have survived such a crash, he soon found out that someone had. A woman in a bloody flight attendant uniform was found among the crash site. Her name was Vesna Vulović, and she didn't know it yet, but she had just survived a 33,000-foot fall without a parachute. This is one of the strangest world records since no one else has ever done it. Before the crash, Vesna Vulović had been a flight attendant for only 8 months. She was only 22 years old at that time. After going to London to learn English, she found out how much she liked to travel. She jumped at the chance when she heard that a friend was going to become a flight attendant and travel the world. In 1971, she joined JAT Airways, which was the largest airline in Yugoslavia and also the country's flag carrier. But her dream was almost not going to come true. Vulović knew she probably wouldn't pass the medical exam because she had a history of low blood pressure. So, right before she went in, she drank a lot of coffee in the hopes that it would keep her blood pressure up. To her delight, it worked, and she was let into the program to become a flight attendant. For 8 months of being a flight attendant, she was told to join the crew of JAT Flight 367, which went from Stockholm to Belgrade with a stop in Copenhagen. She knew that JAT had mixed her up with another attendant named Vesna, but she still agreed to join. She had never been to Denmark before, so she saw it as another chance to travel. When she got there, she didn't feel happy, because Vulović wanted to see some sights, but the rest of the group seemed more interested in shopping and hanging out at the hotel. She also remembers that the captain stayed in his room for 24 hours and wouldn't leave. At 1:30 p.m. on January 26, 1972, the crew met Flight 367 at the Copenhagen airport and watched as the passengers and previous crew get off the plane. The new passengers got on, and at 3:15 p.m., the flight finally took off. 46 minutes into the flight, disaster struck. At 4:01 p.m., there was an explosion in the luggage compartment. The plane fell 33,000 feet to the ground. It broke up in the air, and Vesna Vulović was the only person left alive out of the 28 passengers and crew. Fortunately, a villager who found her had been a doctor during World War II, so he was able to keep her alive until help arrived. But it wasn't simple to do. Vulović had 2 broken legs, 3 broken vertebrae, a broken pelvis, broken ribs, and a broken skull because of the crash. She was taken to a hospital, where she stayed in a coma for a few days. In addition to her many physical injuries and broken skull, her brain had also bled, and she had lost all of her memories. She had no idea what had happened from an hour before the crash until almost a month after it. She remembered saying hello to people on the plane, but she didn't remember anything else until she saw her parents in her hospital room. Even though her injuries could have left her paralyzed for life or even killed her, Vesna Vulović was walking again 10 months after her fall. Doctors had never thought she would live that long. When she woke up, the first thing she did was ask for a cigarette. Her recovery period was actually pretty short and very successful, and she says that this is because she ate chocolate, spinach, and fish oil as a child. Investigators for air safety think that her location in the plane at the time of the explosion helped her survive the fall. When the plane's body broke apart, she was in the back with a food cart. After the explosion, many other people were sucked out of the plane, but Vulović was luckily stuck by the cart. The small section she was in fell down on a hillside with lots of trees and snow. Her doctors agreed with the conclusions of the air investigators and added their own. They said that what almost stopped Vulović from becoming a flight attendant was the thing that saved her life in the end. Her doctors think that because she had low blood pressure, her heart didn't burst when she hit the mountainside. If you are wondering what caused the explosion, it was because a group in Croatia that wants to become independent from Yugoslavia planted a bomb in a briefcase that caused the explosion. As a result of the attack, airport security in the country was made stricter. In the end, Vesna Vulović had amnesia because of the crash. Even though she had a traumatic experience, she refused to let it define her or hold her back. Instead, she used her experience to inspire others and raise awareness about the importance of airline safety. Sadly, Vesna passed away on December 23, 2016, at the age of 66. Her death was a great loss to her family, friends, and all those who had been touched by her remarkable life.